Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name's Wraith, and today I'm going to be going over a few ring wraith tactics to use in your competitive games of Middle-earth strategy battle game. I love ring wraiths, I think they're fantastic, and hopefully after this video you will agree with me and use them more effectively on the tabletop to defeat the armies of good or evil. A ring wraith cares not, I suppose. So let's jump in with our first tactic, and this is a juicy one I love. So here we are. We've got an objective in the center here, or we've just got a shield wall. That's the main thing to take away from here. There is a shield wall in front of us. Shield walls are scary because they give everyone in base contact with 2 other models +1 to their defense. That's not so good. On top of that, these dwarves have spears and shields. So that means they've got a spear support for pretty much each guy. Now we could start trying to wrap around them and stuff like that, that's cool. But we need models in the centre because we're going to hold this objective. So how do we break up a shield wall? Well, we've luckily got a ring wraith, and obviously on a fell beast just makes him 10 times better. You don't need the fell beast to make this work, but you get an advantage for bringing a fell beast. So first things first, if you do spot a captain in that shield wall or a hero, most factions that have shield wall don't tend to have a resistant to magic hero, so we should be okay. But we've got an Iron Hills captain. He's pretty easy to deal with because he's just a captain. So upon approach to the shield wall, you need to spot this captain with your ring wraith. This is why I like bringing 2 ring wraiths, because you can do both things at once, even if it's just an unnamed one alongside the Witch King. The Witch King is the best one because he's got the Crown of Morgul and it's fantastic. He's just awesome and he's better at casting, which is why he's in this demonstration. But if it's just one wraith, you use the first turn before you get towards the objective to pinpoint that captain and sap his will. He's only got 1 will point to use, or if it's a hero, he's got 3 probably. But if you sap his will, he's either got to choose to spend it, in which case he's going to be down will and you can still get the spell off and get rid of the rest of the will, or you can let it go through and you'll probably get rid of his will. If he's a captain, he'll only have 1, so yeah, he's kind of got to try and, hope you fail to cast. But with a reroll with a Crown of Morgul, it's quite unlikely and might. Okay, now that's sorted. Obviously if you had a winning wraith on the side here, he could sap will and then the Witch King can do the big bomb. So what you want to do with the Witch King is quite simply get him in range to cast Instill Fear. So I've put a handy dandy circle around the front guys to show their 1-inch control zone. If you shoot the Witch King over your lines, and obviously if your Witch King is not on fell beast and near the front, you're going to get as close as possible as you can. You can ignore the captain if you really want to. If you want to attack a particular flank, you've got the movement if he's mounted or on fell beast, but on fell beast he can get right up close like that and stay just outside of the control zone. This is where, of course, you want to probably, if you've got a high courage army, so these are courage 4 dwarves, you could probably channel Instill Fear, and you'll find out why in a minute. So everyone within 3 inches, which is him, there you go, you can get the gist. We've got quite a few people within 3 inches of this lovely fell beast with his massive base. All now have to take a courage test. Okay, if you've channeled it, they have to take a courage test on 3d6 and remove the highest dice. And what's so fantastic about this is if they fail their courage test, they have to move their full distance directly away from the caster. And as a bonus, the caster gets to pick who takes their courage test first, because they would stop if they hit a friendly model who's in the way. Okay? So channeled, I'd probably pick the back rank to go first. That way these guys up front don't stop. He's got no will to resist it, otherwise he'd be able to. And you can do whatever order you want. You can start with this guy, and let's grab some juicy dice. There we go, fantastic, some lovely Lord of the Rings dice. Damn, I wish I got those Isengard ones, never mind. And they're -1 to their courage because they're within 12 inches of a fell beast, or Nazgul should I say, because of Harbinger of Evil. So they're courage 3, rolling 3d6, getting rid of the highest if it's channeled. So a 6, 5, 6, 7. Unfortunately, one of them passed, so you'd pick one guy. So it's that guy. He passes, but you go along for every single guy. So get rid of the 6. That's a fail for the second guy, which means he would move directly away from him. So kind of in that direction. 5 inches because he's a little dwarf. And of course, we've already broken their shield wall up a little bit. And you just go along and keep doing it. So I'm just going to roll a bunch just to see the kind of effect we've got. See, that's a fail. That is a fail. There's a 3d6 coming in hard there. That is also a fail. So we've got all these pretty much failing along the back. Pass. The last one up there. It's a fail. So all these boys, actually he's probably out of 3 inches. Yeah, he was. Would then move 5 inches away, and then they cannot move at all for the rest of the game. Turn. Rest of the turn. Fantastic. So you can already see what kind of effect that has had on these models. And they're going to be spread out because they've got to move directly away, so they'll be going out in all sorts of directions. And I'll come back after I've rolled the courage test for everyone else in range, and we'll see what happens. And there we have it. That is what that perfect shield wall ended up like. And seriously, I mean, channeled is so much better. Obviously. It does cost a point of might, but it is what it is. You've got a little pocket here because obviously these two, he passed, this guy failed, and this guy failed. He stopped when he hit his friend. He couldn't go further away because he was held in place by these guys. We got either out of range or passes over here. Well, actually, he moved back and hit into his friend, and everyone else failed, spreading out because they have to move directly away. I've only moved 6 inches or 6.8 inches with the Witch King, so I can then move in anywhere I want, pretty much. Tag these two boys. Actually, 3 inches, we might go. Might as well fly over and hit over the top. Yep. Good old tabletop simulator. He wouldn't balance on there at all. But then, that leaves the rest of your orcs. You can charge in if you want. Or, you can just straight up. You now own that objective. I mean, we can even move something. Yeah, just go in like that. Obviously, on the tabletop you move one at a time, but 2 inches to get that spear support. Spear support. This guy can then come in, take this spear support because he's charged. Get into there. And you got all your guys to come and support. Now, isn't that a much better looking fight? You could charge these, but I mean, it's probably better to get the Witch King behind this guy, if you could, if you had the movement to start trapping people. But there you go. You own the objective, and you've destroyed their shield wall. It's going to be quite hard to get back into that formation without spending a whole turn just to reorganise. So that is Instill Fear, especially with the Witch King on Felbeast. It's very scary. It's a 4+ to cast for him, or a 5+ for a normal unnamed ring wraith. But hopefully the tabletop simulator doesn't let me down. Yeah, he casts it. Fantastic. So, moving on. So, here's the next tactic. You've unfortunately been caught in the open with your ring wraith. There's a mounted hero who's about to charge him and beat him up because, you know, mounted heroes are terrifying, especially if it's like Strider or something like that. But due to the latest FAQ, unless you're a horse lord, you can't use will to protect your horsey from things. So you can try and transfix him, instill fear, black dart him, but instead you're just gonna bring a bunch of dice, however many you feel, depends how lucky you feel. You can roll 1 dice and hope for it. You're gonna try and black dice horse. If you think you can roll a 5+, for most wraiths, I think the Betrayer's on a 6, but he's a notoriously bad caster, so. But he's good with poison. So it's just a bonus he's a caster, I suppose. You just black dice horse. So, I mean, I'll just roll 4 dice and hopefully roll a 5+ on 4 dice. Yep, I rolled a 6. The horse can't do anything about it. So, it could. Now we roll to wound because it's strength 9. And that's a dead horse. Done. He's dismounted. He takes the Throne Rider test. he doesn't roll a 6, so if you do feel like charging him, you can, because even if you win, or even if he wins, he can't strike you because he's still getting untangled from the wreckage of his dead horse who's been black darted. And then if you've got friends nearby to help, even better. But there you are. That is a quick tactic to dismount horses. It's very important. If you see a hero on a horse, get rid of his horse ASAP. Absolutely. It will just reduce the amount of damage that hero can do, his mobility, everything. Even his base size goes smaller, so his heroics will affect less models on a normal 25mm base. The last quick tactic with Wraiths. This is rather simple, almost as simple as the Black Dart. I thought the Black Dart one was a bit more, in depth because the FAQ cleared it up, and a lot of games I've seen, not many people have done it. We've got a lovely little force here. Oh no, they outfight us. Oh no, they have a banner. Whatever are we going to do? Well, it's quite simple. We're gonna get our little elf. Ugh. Oh. Ugh. Sorry. We're gonna get our little ring wraith eyes on this banner, and we're gonna compel him. It's fantastic because banners don't tend to have any will. So there we go. We get it off. Guess what, buddy? You're going 3 inches that way because I get to control you now. Half your move. You can't move again for the rest of this turn. And you're out of banner range. So you've just turned off his banner. 25 points. So he's like, yeah. 34 points for that dude? Which is quite crazy. And then we can get into combat. Boom. Simple. Really, really simple. Get rid of banners is a massive deal. You can, of course, Black Dart them. And probably the better option in this situation against Arnold with Courage 2 is to just run forward and instill fear. But that works just as good if your ring wraith stuck at the back anyway. He can't do much here. But you can make banners move away. And you can do that every turn if you want. I've had a ring wraith, the Betrayer, just switch off so many things, which is completely ridiculous, by compelling them away or transfixing them. Yeah, Wraiths are a pain in the backside for your opponent, especially if they have no magic resistance. And a lot of competitive armies can lack magic resistance. So Iron Dwarves are very, very popular in the tournament scene, and they don't have any magic resistance really, unless they ally things in. Minas Tirith has got a little bit, but not that much. And of course, elves are elves. Ugh, they've got everything. So, yeah. But yeah, there you are. Those were 3 quick tactics on how to use ring wraiths competitively in Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game. If you liked the video and you found it helpful, do let me know in the comment section down below. And do like the video, so I know people like these quick tactics videos. And if you're feeling especially saintly today, do consider subscribing. But even if you don't do either of those things, I still hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.